Hello again, YouTube. So I'm here again with another episode of totally unnecessary GoPro videos. So I'm revisiting the Labynary puzzle, or Labynary, I don't know, puzzle that I talked about in the last episode. So after I was playing with it for a little bit, the first day I got it, I noticed that there's some manufacturing problems with this puzzle. Specifically, it's these three sides, these three pins over here. So these are supposed to slide smoothly between states, up and down, and they don't. Everything else on this puzzle seems to work perfectly, beautifully. And actually, these three are the same design as these three top sliders up here. But what's different is how they're actually assembled into the puzzle. And so what happens is that you have a little peg, little metal peg that goes through a small piece of wood. And so if this is the peg, when there's the ball of the peg is what's contacting the plastic acrylic surface. And so when I put pressure up here to move the peg, instead of the whole piece sliding smoothly, what happens is, well, the peg starts to tilt first. And on these three bottom pieces in particular, that little wood extension here, instead of sliding smoothly, it actually tilts and jams into the puzzle. And so that actually prevents the pieces from transitioning smoothly, and you can see that one's really bad, and this middle one's a little okay. But what's different with these top pieces is that the contact points of these sliding pieces aren't on the metal pin. There's a layer of wood here, this bottom layer of wood, and then the top acrylic layer. So you have two solid surfaces, and the peg can move smoothly between them. And that wasn't how these pieces were assembled. And it's really unfortunate because these pieces have to be moved constantly to unlock these horizontal wood slats. You're constantly moving these pieces, these toggles back and forth and changing their state. And it just gets really frustrating and really annoying. And I couldn't handle it. It was too annoying. I gave up. So I bought this puzzle from Brilliant Puzzles, and I messaged them about it. I told them that they were selling this puzzle that had some manufacturing problems, and it's really unfortunate because if they had just, if the manufacturer had just, not had these rounded bottom pegs, but used maybe something flat and smooth, I think the puzzle would actually have been fine right out of manufacturing. But Brilliant Puzzles support was super cool. They got back to me like ridiculously fast right away and said I could either return it or they would give me a half off discount to try and fix it. And I decided, well, I really like this puzzle, so at least conceptually I really like this puzzle and I wanted to try it out and play with it. So let's see if we can fix it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take this puzzle apart, and I've got some, this is my first attempt, Milliput Black modeling ceramic stuff, putty, where we have these two putty colors and you mix them together and it creates a putty that you can shape and mold, and it will hold, it eventually will fix itself into a solid. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put this Milliput putty onto the bottom of those pegs and fill that gap between the pegs and the acrylic, so that these three pieces don't wobble anymore and that they move smoothly. That's my goal here, and we'll see if that works. I don't know what's going to happen. Also, apparently, Milliput putty leaves your fingers very black, so that's kind of silly. So to open this puzzle up, you need a screwdriver, and you need something to restrain the screws. because you have like this 2-piece screw with washers, and so there's no resistance if you just spin it. It just spins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rubber band, wrap it around the screw, and that's going to provide some tension so that when I then turn my screwdriver, then I can unscrew it in. Wow, those are really small screws, huh? And we're going to be very careful because there are washers. All right, there's the cylinder, and then 2 washers. Okay, that's 1 screw done. I don't know if I'm gonna have to take all of them off, at least 3 of them. Let's do the next one. And again, it helps to have actual hand-eye coordination and not whatever I have, which is not working right now. I think I'm going to make this go much faster in playback. Screw number 2 is out. Along with the washers. And, oh, okay. So I can access these pieces right here, it looks like. I'll just take those off. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it into the putty. I'm going to get a flat surface. Because I don't want to add anything to the height here, is what I want. This is what I want to avoid. Or any part of it, actually. The height or the width. So. All right, we have the piece covered in putty. I'm going to carefully cut away the excess putty. And then I'm just going to smooth it down so it looks nice and pretty. That's unlikely. It's not going to look pretty. It's going to but it's going to work. That's the goal here, just to make it work. All right, I'm going to keep working with this, and I'll repeat it with the other 2 pegs, and once the putty dries, I'll put it back in and see how it all works. All right, thanks for watching.